Hey, welcome, welcome, welcome. At 6:30, we're getting ready to get started here. We're going to watch and see if a couple more people come into the room. My name is Paul Delatorre, and the presentation you're going to be taking a look at tonight is called 10 Spot Investors. Earn income a better way, made it simple and more repeatable. So as we go into this, you're going to kind of understand why we call it 10 Spot Investors and how that will all come to play. So let me get a couple more people admitted here. Hopefully everyone is having a good Friday. We know it's a Friday evening. A lot of people could be doing something better, but I'm glad that you came on here. And anyone who invited you to be on this presentation, you'll want to thank them as well, because what we're going to show you is quite extraordinary and amazingly simple to do. So if we can give it maybe a couple more minutes, then we'll go ahead and jump right in. Does that sound fair? All right. Well, I know I can't see all the participants. I have my screen up here for me to be able to do the presentation. But again, I want to thank you all for coming on board and being on this presentation. All right. Well, let's see. I know one more said that they contacted me here on a text saying they're going to be jumping on. I'll give them one more minute and that'll be it. And we're going to jump right in. Sound fair? Yes, it is. All right. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and jump in. Again, we're 10 Spot Investors. My name is Paul Delatorre, and our slogan is Earn Income a Better Way, made it simple and more repeatable. This book here, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, is by Robert Kiyosaki. This book came out in 1997, and really it was ahead of its time. If you ever have an opportunity, which we can also send you a transcript of this book, it's fantastic. So the first part of our presentation, what we're going to do is we're going to be using some information from Robert Kiyosaki's book. Excuse me. It advocates the importance of financial literacy, financial independence, and building wealth through investing and starting your own business, as well as increasing one's financial intelligence. Now, you can see this gentleman here. He's looking in the what ads. He is probably either a college grad or maybe a high school grad. And so what our parents have always tried to do is they taught us to do this. You know, go to school, get good grades, right? Get a good job, right? Get good paying job. Have a job that probably has a pension, and then retire at 65. So isn't that usually what our parents teach us to do? But what's happening now? COVID has certainly put a crimp in the job market. People are looking for work. This was January 14. The Associated Press said U.S. unemployment claims jumped to 965,000. So this was nearly 1 million, and that was the most since August. Now, if anyone is up to breast with the news, Monday or Tuesday, they just came out and says that it was 900,000 more. So we've had nearly 2 million unemployment claims just in the last 2 weeks. The situation is dire because we're seeing a lot of small businesses close down due to the COVID. And the saddest thing that we can think about when it comes to small businesses is that the United States Chamber of Commerce has indicated that most of these small businesses will not come back. So that means there's less jobs out there, excuse me, less jobs out there for you to go to and get work. And at the same time, we're seeing people's dreams being dashed because their businesses are closing. If you see this picture here, people are packing up. We're going through another foreclosure process. Many people are hurting where they can't pay the rent any longer. Now, there are some protections that are out there. I'm sure there's going to be quite a bit more to keep people in their homes from foreclosures or rent, but that's only going to last so long because the people who own these properties need to make income as well. Now, you have to ask yourself, is this you? Do you need to be comforted from what is happening out there? Well, yeah, I'm sure. So you can ask yourself, how is having a job working out? Well, I'm telling you, what you are doing is you're trading time for dollars. That's called linear income gathering. So you work your hours and you get paid. And so when you lose your job, you no longer get paid. Now, I mentioned about Robert Kiyosaki in his book, and this is a quote from the book. And again, this was 1997, and it's ahead of its time. It says, I often look ahead to the new millennium and wonder what will happen when we have millions of people who will need financial and medical assistance. They'll be dependent on the government for financial support. Have we seen that? We've seen we've seen the pandemic relief, stimulus packages, all these. We have what's called the PUA for unemployment to be able to gather more income from their unemployment. And then we mentioned the previous how to keep people in their rentals. So this was ahead of its time, and we're there now. So again, the people who've lost their job, they've traded time for money. So it's time to get off our big fat couch, folks. You know, I wouldn't use that kind of language here, but yeah, we need to get off our big fat couch and do something different. So we're in the new innovation and what we call, we are now in the greatest technological expansion. We've seen LinkedIn, we've seen all the social media type things. We've seen what's called disruptive innovation, which we'll talk about a little bit as we go forward. So really what we need to do is time to start thinking outside the box. We can't stay with the status quo. We can't stay depending on an employer to give us our 25 to 30 years of employment and then retiring on our pension. We have to think about outside the box. So let's talk about this disruptive innovation. Simpler, easier, and more affordable. So the company that we're going to be talking about uses this particular platform. So we could see there's Amazon, Spotify. And so these kind of things have used this disruptive innovation to kind of put their industry, turned it on their heads. We've seen more and more people are shopping online instead of going to the stores. And so Amazon has become quite popular. Spotify, we used to go to the store to buy albums, and we could see many of those places are no longer in existence. And so now we have the opportunity to be able to purchase music or listen to music completely online. Again, we want to mention that there's a lot of opportunities out there. So there's many doors that can be open. So which one would you want to open for an opportunity, especially in this time when there's nothing out there for us to go and do, or if you want to make a career change as well. So the key to success is this: what you are doing has to be simple and repeatable. So at this point, do you want to know how to earn income that you deserve in today's economy? Of course you would. And what I mean by today's economy is this: it's changing. Most people are working remotely. Most people are working from home. Even corporations have their people now working from home. So why not you? Now you might chuckle at this. This is me. My son, after I came back from a funeral, said, "Dad, man, you look like the mobster." And I said, "Okay, yeah, take a picture of me, son." So I'm going to do this. I'm going to make you an offer you can't refuse. All right. After you're done laughing and chuckling at this little goofiness, I really am going to do that. So this is Danny DeVito. He played a character in a movie called Other People's Money. His character was Larry the Liquidator. Now, Larry the Liquidator, he would buy up companies that looked pretty good on paper, and he would cut them up, divide them up, and make more money off its parts. But one thing that I appreciated about this movie was a quote from him. And this is the quote that he said. It says, "You want to make money. You don't care if they manufacture wire and cable, fried chicken, or grow tangerines." You know, most people doing investments, and they really don't care what they're investing as long as they make money, right? And so what we're going to show you is kind of a dual thing. You're going to be spending on something and earning income at the same time. So here's a what if for you. We could see this girl here is working out in a gym. And so I want you to kind of get an idea of what we're going to do in the company that we're dealing with, so that this will kind of get you in perspective. It says a family fitness center owner asks you to get a membership to his gym for $25 a month. Not a bad deal, right? And just by you sharing a presentation with 10 people, and they also get the membership, he'll pay you an upfront fee. Wow, not a bad deal, right? Here's the best part. When you and they keep the membership, you get paid a percentage each month. Now, I was talking with someone today, and we were talking about this one little subject, and it came up about Costco and Sam's Club. They're membership based. And so we pay probably, I think it's about $120 for this premium membership. And as we spend there, we're actually investing because we're getting money back. It's 2%, I believe, we get back just by purchasing. So we always look forward to February on getting a check. And so sometimes right around February, we're always expecting maybe a $300 or $400 check from buying all this food at Costco or Sam's Club. And so I would never, ever get rid of that membership. Not only am I purchasing things there, I get great deals, I get what I want. There's a lot of things that I can get a deal on. But the big part is hey, man, come February, I get an additional money check paid to me. So this is your aha moment. We were just talking about that. You would never get rid of that membership. You would never get rid of that gym membership, right? If you were getting paid to own it, right? So you never, ever would get rid of the membership. If everybody keeps their membership, everyone would get paid each month. That's the power of 10 Spot Investors. So the company that we are partnered with is Legal Shield. Now, some of you may have known of Legal Shield, and I'm going to tell you the reason why we are using Legal Shield. They have a membership that we're going to go into. It's $25 a month. It's a service. It's not pills, lotions, and those things that you're going to do what's going to call a certain delivery service every single month. It's a push service. You have to buy so much of it in order to keep it coming every single month. And so sometimes these things will gather up, and you're not going to get that when it's a membership because it's a service. So they've been established in 1972. They're protecting approximately 4.4 million lives in US and Canada. And they do this by a network of quality law firms in the 50 states and Canadian provinces. To let you know, right now, we're right now in the 49th year of this company. And this company is the leader in its industry. So we're talking about something stable here, that if you are going to pay $25 a month and you're going to have 10 people do the same thing, why would you not want it to be stable? So they have been featured in Forbes, Yahoo Finance, CNBC, Bloomberg, and they're an accredited business with the Better Business Bureau. So we're letting you know that this is stable. So this is really my responsibility. It's the law. That I show you what this company does. And the reason why is this is not a pyramid scheme. When people say that, that makes me criver. But no, we're a service, and we are a legitimate service. And of course, we deal in the law, and we have to be accredited in every single state in order to provide this service. So let's go into it. Tap to call for equal access, personal legal advice on an unlimited number of issues. I've used it. I've had this membership since 1998. If you ever want to ask me, send a note to me. I could tell you how. Letters, calls on our behalf. I've used that. Contracts, document reviews. I've used that. IRS audit assistance. I've used that. Civil trial defense services. I never had to use that. Crossing my fingers on that one, folks. Family domestic services. These are uncontested divorce, adoption, separations, and name change. I surely hope I don't have to use that for any kind of uncontested divorce. So what you're going to do is you're going to upload a contract or something that you want to be reviewed. So look at there, you just tap the app. This is what we call this innovation with an app, right? So now you're pushing this button. It's right in that palm of your hand, and you do a picture and send all the information that you want. This is all done in the palm of your hand. Traffic ticket assistance. So what you're going to get is if you submit your ticket to the law firm. Here in California, we have Parker Stanberry. Now, Parker Stanberry collects about $4 million a month off our memberships. And so that makes you their #1 client. And so they're on top of giving you the consultation you need within 4 hours to be able to take that ticket into court and fight it. Now, here's the most important part about this is we always want to save money. So not only that, if we can get whatever the ticket to a reduced fee, that's great. But here's the other thing. It's called points on your record. If you get so many points on your record, what happens to your insurance? Your insurance goes up, and that costs you more money. I love this part here. And again, I want to mention this about profiling. And I know some people could possibly agree or disagree on that subject. And I'm not here to change the thoughts on that. And this is certainly not an insurrection on the police force, but there are some that will profile or pull you over or question you. It doesn't matter what the circumstances is. So 24 hours, 7-day emergency access. If you're ever, let me submit someone in the room. Thank you, folks. If you're ever questioned or detained, being pulled over on the street, being asked questions, you know one thing, you really don't have the right to call your parents if you're young or your pastor, but you do have the rights to call your attorney, all right? And so this happens, and let me give you a little story of a lady out in Texas. She's a nurse. She's a mother of 2, and she was coming home late, and so she was pulled over by the police. And when she was pulled over by the police officer asked her for her license and registration. So she gave the license and registration to the officer. And then he asked, where are you heading and where are you coming from? So at that point, she asked, well, what did I do, officer? And then at that point, he said, ma'am, get out of the vehicle. And she says, well, sir, or officer, are you trying to question or detain me? And he said, ma'am, get out of your vehicle. At this point, she had Legal Shield, so she was ready for him. She had her phone already lit up and ready to push that button right there that says Emergency Legal Service. She says, sir, I'm pushing this button and I'm going to speak to my attorney. Well, now this comes to a shock for some officers that don't understand it, but she did speak to her attorney. She handed the phone over to the officer. Within a couple minutes of speaking to the attorney, he handed his phone and the documents that he obtained and said, ma'am, next time, please come to a complete stop. Now, again, we don't know what his purposes were for asking her to get out of her vehicle. We've had an incident here in Elk Grove where a young man, 19 years of age, was pulled over, and instead of trying to issue him a ticket, he was questioned if he was under parole. Does he have drugs? Do you have weapons in the car? Again, we have the right to call our attorney, right? So we do a will preparation. This comes at no additional charge to you, and it can be updated at any time at all. So it's the will, living will, health care power of attorney, financial power of attorney. Contingency cases. So if you're in a car accident, some situation where you want to sue someone, of course, there's always that 33% that an attorney may want to charge in order to recoup his fees if they win. But our attorney firm process throughout California, if any of those attorneys are used, they will give you a contingency fee discount. So everything that we just spoke about is covered about 80%, right? But we all love discounts. And so 25% member discount. And so this comes on pre-existing conditions on personal legal matters, bankruptcies, contested divorces, and adoptions and DUIs. I'm going to take a little swig here to clear my throat. Thank you. Now, who's covered? The member's spouse, domestic partner, never married dependent, children under the age of 26, living at home or full-time student, dependent child under the age of 18. Now, I know some relatives that take care of children that they had loved ones pass away, and so this works very well. I have a physically and mentally disabled nephew who has Down syndrome. So my sister's membership covers him. And you're like, well, why would he need that? Well, if she needs to call and talk about legal issues with him or some of his schooling, then she'll be able to do that for him. So which one would you choose? A lawyer charging $250 an hour, and you have to ask yourself here in California, that's about the average. How much would you think a lawyer would charge monthly for all the things I just showed you? Well, I've gotten ideas of all $500 a month, $1,000 a month, but you don't have to spend that amount of money. For Legal Shield, it's only $24.95 a month to have access to a national network of law firms. Now, why do I say national? Well, we're in California, but what if you traveled to Texas? What if you're visiting family in Nebraska? What if you're taking a little trip up here to Lake Tahoe, or you're in Nevada and you need to call an attorney? Well, you're going to get in contact with the law firm in that particular state. And so this is powerful. So this $25 a month, we're going to show you a little further. I'm going to go very briefly on this because this is another program that can be attached to your membership. It's called Identity Theft, or ID Shield. And we know today that according to Interpol, that's the International Police Force, that identity theft is the #1 crime in the world. And they're not looking for your money. They're looking for your status, your social security number. Those are the things they want to steal. They want to steal your particular identity because there's a lot of things that they can do with that identity. Now, most of us love social media, but here's the thing. It can be used against you. It's been known that on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, all these things, what you post is you, and it's out there. And so now if you're trying to apply for a job, those particular things, they're going to look at your social media background and say, hey, I don't know, man, what do you think about this? I don't think we need to hire him. So what they're going to do is they're going to give you a reputation score, and they're going to help you to clear up your social media. So who's covered on this? Well, there's an individual plan, which is the member. And then there's a family plan, which is the member's spouse, domestic partner, and up to 10 children, 18 years of age. Now, a lot of you know of LifeLock, and I'm not here to just really go knock any other company, but here's the thing with them. They're going to charge you per spouse, and they're going to charge you per children or per child, where this is all covered under one price. So what would that particular thing cost? So I'm going to, again, want to concentrate on that $24.95 because it's important to know what we're getting into with 10Spot, how simple it is to own a $25 membership and everyone else having that membership and never getting rid of it. If you never get rid of the membership, remember what we're talking about. Everybody's going to get paid. Remember the aha moment that we spoke about? That's what we're talking about. But guess what? You're going to get member perks. Well, I pay $120 a year to get member perks through Costco. So they have an automotive buying plan, things that you may need: work, apparel, education, electronics. You may want to do travel. You're going to get discounts on that. Food, cell phone. We get discounts just by having a cell phone carrier. And so all these things are covered on just having a $25 a month. I'm rounding this off at $25. So how do we do 10Spot Investor? So let me let you know that 10Spot Investor is my group. It's the one I'm developing, and it's not Legal Shield. Legal Shield is the company we partnered with. These are the type of program that we developed to make what we're doing pretty simple. So this is what you want to do. Says, I have something I want to show you. You may or may not be interested. It would only take a few minutes. And you really can't go wrong with this. What if you forget what to say? You can say, well, this only takes a few minutes. I have something I want to show you. You may or may not be interested. Well, what if it's about this? Okay, you may or may not be interested. I have something I want to show you. It would only take a few minutes. So no matter how you jumble these words, there's no problem. And then you could show them this presentation or invite them to one of these presentations that we will have in the future. So we get paid 3 ways. We get paid up front. Now, so you know, Legal Shield did this. They designed this pay structure like the insurance industry. So that's a differential pay scale. So as you can see here, $308 for executive director and $110 for an associate. So when you come on board, you're making $110 for being just selling one of these $25 membership, or actually this is based on that $49 membership. And so as you can see here, the differential will go all the way up to executive director, senior director, which are monthly qualifiers. But then we get paid what's called overrides. So if you added or you subtracted 110 from that 103, this is what you're going to get. $198. So if you have nobody in between you and an associate and you're an executive director and they find someone that wants this $25 membership, you're going to make $198. That's quite amazing. But here's the part that I really want people to understand. It's called residual income. We've been speaking about this. Residual happens when you own something, you've done it once, you've sold it once, and you continue to get paid over and over and over. My membership since 1998, the gentleman who sold me that membership, I own this membership, and he gets paid every single time I pay my $25. I'll never get rid of my membership. This is what we're emphasizing to you. And we're also emphasizing to you, don't ever get rid of it, right? And do this as well. If you only get 10, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that because we're going to show you how this can grow exponentially. So again, if these memberships are on the books, you're going to get paid for the life of that membership as long as it remains on the books. So how do I get started? There's a one-time $99 fee. That's a very low threshold to come on board with Legal Shield. You own your own book of business. Here's the huge part. It's portable and willable. If you're in California, you want to move to Texas, you want to move to New York, you want to move somewhere else, it goes with you. Where can you have something like that? Lifetime residual income. So your action steps is definitely get into the membership. But you're going to want to be an associate because now you're getting paid for owning that membership, right? If you get 10 people and they all get 10 people, and it's simple as that, never get rid of the membership, you're going to continue to get paid. So become a Legal Shield associate, set up the website. That's how people will sign up and share this presentation, get your 10. See, if people are saying, well, I don't want to sell, Paul, this is really a warm market service and presentation because your friends, family, uncles that will run away from the lotion, potions, and pills will say, I will absolutely pay $25 a month if I knew I was going to get a percentage of everybody else that bought this membership. You have your Costco membership, they're going to shoot you 2%, right? And you're going to keep that membership just to get 2% back. Why not this? Here's my promise in the 10 spot investors bonus to you. Just by you coming on board and you get your 10 and everybody's now getting their 10, we will find your 4 aces. We all know that the ace is the best card in the deck. So there's going to be people that are going to want to do more than 10. Trust you. Trust me, I know, I've seen it. They're happening right now in our organization where there's people who just want to do more. So this is going to grow exponentially from these aces. So we're going to help those ones while you sit back and just already got your 10. That's okay. Enjoy the fruits of your labor for having your 10. We will find those aces and we're going to work with them to grow your business exponentially. That's the power of 10 spot investors. Let me take just a real short moment to try to figure out maybe what your why is. Mine is kind of like that picture over to the right. Look at that little boy puckering his lips. My family's my why. It's very important that I'm setting up a legacy that will last a lifetime. If something happens to my wife or my kids will be able to get the money that I will to them. And as long as they're Legal Shield associates and have a membership, they're going to continue to get paid that legacy that I'm building. You can see the lady to the left there. She's upset. She's lost her job. Did that happen to you? Is that happen to someone you know? This is for them and for you. That's how our market is right now. We need to help people. Look at the bottom there. There's businesses again closing down. This is something where people work their lives to build, and now we have a pandemic that's trying to tear it down. But we don't have to have that happen because you know why? This could be a financial funnel to keep their business open. It's their passion. It's what they love to do. And if that's the case, they want to be able to keep their doors open. We know we have all these PPP and again, stimulus is trying to come into businesses, but this is just another way after the The fall of this and everything goes hopefully to normal, this is another funnel for them. Kids are graduating and their smiles on their face are going into their career. But while they're in their school and their scholastics, what if they had a funnel to keep them in school and doing the passion that they want? Now we could see the drips of water there. I kind of call that the ripples of what we bring to our community. So what does that mean? Maybe you have a nonprofit organization that you would like to give to. Maybe it's a religious organization that you want to give donations to. Whatever the case is, you want to help people out. So you know the drips always go out into the community and be able to do more for people. So if that's any of these things are your why, then 10 Spot Investors is for you. So now is the time. Again, we mentioned here, and this is a quote someone sent to me and I love it. It says, spending versus investing. Investing yields long-term results. Why not do both at the same time? So you're investing $25 a month. You're getting your 10, and if that's all you want to do, that's perfectly fine. Sit back and see all the 10s start to grow exponentially, and we will find your aces. Folks, that's 10 Spot Investors. And this is the reason why we said earn income a better way, made it simple and more repeatable. So the person that invited you to take a look at this, please get back with them. If it was myself, go to glendam80.wearelegalshield.com. You can look at what we have there. At the same time, there's a message board there. Send me a message. I will get back to you as soon as I can with any of your questions. What we want you to know is that this is simple and repeatable. $25 a month, 10 people will grow it exponentially for you after you're 10 and be able to grow your business. Again, get with the person that brought you into this presentation. Thank you so much for being part of our Friday night into this. And we look forward to seeing you on the other side.